What's up, everybody? It's DarknDorky here with Games in Real Life, coming at you with another neat trick to up your TTRPG game. This time, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? It's an octopus. And I'm going to turn it into a Kraken for your D&D campaign. Well, my D&D campaign. You can copy and do it all you want. I got this from Value Village, $4. I think it's like from a Fisher Price set, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, hey, I could pop these tentacles off here and turn it into a neat little Kraken with a couple little accessory stands. Isn't that right? Let's get into it!
So we have our Kraken here, and like what you saw before, we're gonna go ahead and pop these legs off. Now we have 1, 2, 3 little props to go around as like little attacker things, and then we have the big guy himself, the Kraken. You're also going to want to grab a couple miniature bases for this project. I got these ones here. I got the small ones off of Amazon. They came in a bag of 100 for around $25, and these are going to be used for the tentacles. We're going to cut the tentacles down because they'll fall over if we don't. Well, maybe not this one. We'll have to test it out. That one's going to be a full tentacle. And then this big guy right here, I 3D printed at my local library. Unfortunately, it's made of PLA plastic, so it's going to half-life and decay in about 60 odd years. That's personally why I like buying mine off of Amazon, because they're usually resin cast, which don't decay. So we're going to want to take this and find a good spot where it'll all fit on the base here. Which looks like if I cut right underneath there and bring it all the way down to here, that should be the perfect fit. So we're going to need a saw. Yeah! And we're just going to start sawing away, and this is going to take forever. I really wish I had a vise. Oh, finally I did it. There we go. Here it is. This horribly off-balanced Kraken head thing. So we're going to glue it to the very front of the base, or it'll fall over, and it should look like this. And that'll work out. This, you can take this and, I don't know, you can throw it out now if you want. I might actually take a couple extra tentacles to add to the situation here. And there's the little extra tentacles, and all this you can put in the bin! Straight in the garbage, or recycling, or whatever. And now that we're done with the saw, I'm just gonna fix my little placemat. And then we're gonna be right back right after I finish cleaning off all this junk. Epic time lapse! Alright, so the next thing that you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to take a straight edge, an X-Acto, whatever, and you're going to want to take all those little fluffy burrs that we made from sawing, and you're just going to run it around the corners and the edges and take all those little fluffy burrs off like this. And there we go, all finished with that. Now, if you decide to do the little extra tentacles as well, you're going to want to run the blade around those and take all the little fluffy burrs off of those guys as well. And ta-da! It's all done. Well, kind of. Now it's time to glue it down. So, like I said before, we're going to try and position this at the front of the base, just because it might fall over. It's a little off balance, so that's just going to make it so we don't have to add weight to the front of it. So, it should be okay. Now, because I use Gorilla Glue, it says I need to hold this down for about 5 minutes for it to hold and harden. It cures in about 72 hours, so I'm just gonna do that.
Later.
Alright, it's been 5 minutes, and it looks like it's stuck on here. We got ourselves a Kraken head. And now it's time to move on to the tentacles. So if you remember from about 4 minutes ago, we have one tentacle that works out great just on its own without modification. So we're just going to glue that one down just as is. Because why not? It's perfect. So to make sure that it has a rough edge that's good for gluing, we're going to take our little X-Acto blade and we're going to score the edge. You can also do this with sandpaper. It's all about getting that gritty edge for the glue to adhere to. And there we go. And it's time to dap that glue on. Dap, dap, dap. Dap, 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 dap. Okay, note to self. DarknDorky, buy more Gorilla Glue. There we go. And press it on and leave it down for about 5 minutes. Alright, so that tentacle that I thought would be absolutely perfect all on its own with no modification, turns out it's not. So that little lumpy bit with the suction cuppies there, I'm going to have to chop those off of the tentacle to try and make it nice and flat. Alright, now it's standing up flat-ish. I'm probably going to trim off a little bit more off camera just to make it a little bit more stable. This did not turn out as well as I thought it would, but whatever. It is what it is. Alright, now it's time for the second tentacle. So this one's of course too big just to use by itself without modifying it all. So we're going to take it and we're going to cut it right about there with the X-Acto knife. And I'm just going to press down because this tentacle's made of rubber luckily. And just chop right through it. Simple as that. Now it's going to look a little weird on the stand, so I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle off the bottom so it's a little bit more erect, if I'm allowed to say that, off of the miniature stand. Make it look a little more intimidating. Now all we have to do is score up the bottom of this tentacle and glue it onto that miniature stand as well. Keep going. There we go. Now it's just time to drop a little bits of glue if it'll actually come out. Oh, look at me, I got lucky. And we're gonna press and hold this down for 5 minutes as well. Epic time lapse. Now it's done. Now we have a little tentacle. Alright, 2 of 3 done. Now it's time for the last tentacle. This one is a little wily and crazy. And just like the last one, we're going to find a good spot right about here. And we're just going to chop right through it. Yeah! Look at me saw away at this. A little thicker than I expected. Thick with 2 C's. Awesome. And also, just like the last one, we're going to go at the bottom at a 45-degree angle just to make sure it's good and intimidating when it's coming off of the miniature stand, so it's not all super droopy and flaccid. Ugh. Looking good. Now we'll score up the bottom of this guy. Test it out on the miniature base, and look at that, it's a perfect fit, so it's time to glue it. If it'll let me. Come on! There we go. And just like the last couple times, we're gonna hold this down for 5 minutes here until it's nice and dry, and then we'll look at the end product. And voila! This one is finito! Now, if any of you decided to cut off any extra tentacles to put on the actual Kraken head base, here's the little bonus step where I go through and I'm going to score up those little pieces and glue them on as I please. And once these are all glued down and dried up, then it'll be on to our glamour shots. Unfortunately, I am not going to be painting this project today. That's going to be another video entirely. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this far, and let's get to the glamour shots. Oh yeah! And I want to thank you all quickly here for watching this month's DIY with DarknDorky, an exclusive that we like to pump out only on YouTube and little bitsy bobs onto Instagram. Don't forget to check out our stream every Saturday on Twitch at 8 a.m. PST, 9 a.m. MST. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications to see when we come up with new content. Other than that, that's all, folks. Catch you next time.